guys, Steve from Smack's Garage. Welcome back. As you can see, a little bit of change has happened over the last month or so where I've been MIA, but we have a lot of big things coming, a lot of big projects we're gonna be starting on. Today, we're gonna be doing bank one, sensor one, O2 sensor in an F80 M3. There is very little write-ups, which is pretty simple, but since there's no videos on it, or really good videos on it, I'm going to do it without even taking the downpipe off the car. Stay tuned. Thanks to FCP Euro, we're using a Bosch sensor. I'm getting a code on my MHD, which we're tuning through MHD now. I got rid of boot mod, and it called for bank one, sensor one. I had an O2 already ordered, didn't know I ordered bank one, sensor two. So we're gonna throw the car, actually, we're not throwing the car up in the air to start. We got the engine, we got the hood popped. We gotta take off a few parts. I'll go over what tools you need to get to that connector at the top. So first off, we're gonna have to get this carbon strut brace off. There's 4 bolts at the top, 2 at the bottom. These 2 at the bottom, at least in my car, are E12s, inverted Torx. You might have those up towards the top. Anyways, they're down here for now on mine. I've taken this off to do other jobs. But what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get these little plastic covers off. You got push pins that are in the corner right here, and then you're gonna have, you could use a 10mm socket. Just turn these very gently. This whole cover comes off and pull it away from the front. That's going to gain access to those 2 back 13mm bolts. Same on the other side. Take that off. Don't step on it. We're going to do this side now. Now that we have both sides off, I'm going to take my back 2 off first. Just a little 3/8 wrench. And then for you guys that have EDC for your struts, which I do not have on this 16, you're gonna have to pull that connector off of here. This just comes out. There's a couple push pins that hold these boots in. So if you have a car that still has them on it, like unlike mine, you're gonna have to move those out of the way. If not, you just pull out of the way. This just lifts out. Oh, you got one more bolt here. Your last bolt is going to be a 10mm. That's going to be connecting the brace to the coolant expansion tank. So once you got this 10mm out, all this should come right out. Lift this up, put it out of the way. Now that you have access to here, what we're going to do is we're going to get this intake off. This intake, the clamps I have on it, they happen to be 8mm. So I'm going to get my 8mm. We're going to loosen it. And you also have to take off your MAF sensor, which is just a push pin. Take that off, move it out of the way. So now that this intake's off, it gives me access to get to the bolt to take that charge cooler pipe off. Super important though, what we're gonna do, since we took that intake off, I got my nice little shop rag bucket here. We're gonna do, so as I was saying, there's one 8mm clamp that holds in these intakes. Just loosen that enough to wedge the intake out. Only thing to note, take some shop rags. Let me turn the light on. Take some shop rags, throw them down in there. Then we'll be able to gain access to this this charge pipe bolt, which is a 10mm. This one's a little tricky. You guys are not going to be able to see it on there, but these charge pipe bolts are very tricky. These intake boxes should just pull out. So get that to get out of the way. Just pull that out. There's a couple little rubber grommets. That one stayed in the car. So get those taken out, and we'll be able to get down under here to get to this bolt here for the charge pipe. This is what your charge pipe bolt is going to look like down at the bottom, 10 millimeter. I use a wrench to get it loosened, and then I just put this in there to get it all the way out. So now we're going to get that top clamp off the charge pipe, which is just going to require a 8 millimeter. Your bank 1 sensor 1 O2 sensor runs right up here. Connector is right in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this out right here. I'm going to pop this out. As you can see, that sensor runs along here. I just took that charge pipe out. That sensor that I was talking about, it connects right there. And there's 2 metal clips that hold it in. And then there's another clip that the wire slides into. And it goes down, and you can see it actually running right there, going down. So we're gonna disconnect that up top. This goes to my sensor. There's another little clip where it's ran into right there. So we're gonna undo both of those. I'm gonna pop that out with a screwdriver, which I will show you. You can see it right there real good. It goes right there. I'm gonna pop that out with the screwdriver. We'll disconnect her, and we'll lift the car up. So this is what you're gonna be working with here. Here's your new sensor. So you have a tab right here. And you got 5 prongs on the inside. You got a little tab on each side as well. This tab's going to be the most crucial to get loose. Well, there's going to be a gray locking tab that comes over here. You got to push that locking tab out with like a flathead screwdriver, and you should be able to pinch both the sides, get it to come right out. So now that you got the sensor unattached, just pull it up, put it out of the way. Right here. Now we're gonna get the car off the ground. It's always crucial to make sure your jacking points are where they're supposed to be. Looks like we are good. Just a preface here. There is a metal underbody tray that goes right there. That metal underbody tray I already have removed. It's a series of bolts, and it clips into the front subframe. Well, bolts into the front subframe. That's already removed. Bank 1, sensor 2. There's going to be another sensor for this long pipe here. This is going to be bank 1. The short pipe's bank 2. So as I was saying, this long pipe here goes into your left pipe, your left mid pipe. That's going to be bank 1 sensor 2 right there. bank one, sensor one, you will be able to see right from here, right next to the subframe. Let's see, you can see it right there. So that's bank one, sensor one. And then you got two other ones for the second bank. But you have one right here, right in between there. That's gonna be sensor two. And sensor one, as you can see, hopefully you don't gotta replace that. You gotta take these downpipes off to do that one. That one is right up top of there. So bank one, bank two, bank one, sensor two. And then there is access to get sensor one off right here. So I'm gonna grab a 22mm wrench. We're gonna loosen that the rest of the way. I'm gonna lower her down, and we're gonna get that sensor out. Now we're gonna raise it back up, put the new sensor in. Okay, that should give me enough room to be able to get up under the hood here, fish that sensor out. Okay, so just so you guys can see, yep, looks a little rough, doesn't it? I'll fish this one in the way it was. I'll leave the cap on it. I'm gonna tuck the connector up top there. Then we're gonna raise the car back up, put that sensor in, that 22mm wrench. We're gonna just screw this guy in here. And it's crucial to leave that sensor disconnected at the top so it's got flexible movement so it can get tightened. Oh, I gotta fish it back up. No biggie. So then we'll untwangle. Oh God, Daddy Longleg, hello. Yeah, we'll just have to untwangle that up there. We'll lower the car back down. So, ran the wire up, put it into its first clamp here, connection, right there. And I put it into its second one, that's right there. Third one, let's move this light a little bit so you can see. Third one is gonna be right underneath the connector right there, and then it's gonna snip into the connector, and that connector is gonna sit in two little clamps. So, got the car buttoned up. Just wanted to go over a few things. Getting the charge pipe put back on, I realized that this bolt right here, which I'm trying to zoom in on, which is not letting me, this bolt right here, it's a plastic trim that holds this intake pipe on to the inlet of the turbo. I noticed that that top plastic piece was cracked and broken, so I just made a quick little fix there with a couple of zip ties, which you can't really see. All I had to do was obviously put that charge pipe back on, one clamp there, the 10mm bolt at the bottom. Put this intake back on using that 8mm close clamp. Put the intake back on, put the intake box back in, just snap back into place. Put our bolts back in for our carbon strut brace, torqued them down, tightened our coolant reservoir bolt that goes from that to the brace. Everything's connected, tucked back in. Don't forget to reconnect your MAF sensor once you put this intake back in right here. Like I said, if you have push pins, put these plastic pieces back in. They will go right here. I do not have those. But yeah, that's how you put the O2 sensor in without touching the downpipes, taking them out or nothing. So bank 1, sensor 1 and 2 can be done in the car without disconnecting any exhaust, as long as you have aftermarket downpipes.